Eyewitness News tonight on TV2.
The city of champions and the home of the family. Three Rivers Stadium is the scene tonight as the renewal of the battle between the Montreal Expos and our world champion Pirates continues. The adrenaline will be flowing as the stage is set. Rogers versus Blyleven. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The Pittsburgh Pirate Television Network presents Pirate Baseball 80. Tonight from Three Rivers Stadium, the Bucks meet the Montreal Expos. Pirate Baseball is brought to you in part by Budweiser. For all you do, this Bud's for you. And in part by Mellon Bank, a neighbor you can count on. Messages promoting attendance at Pirate games are paid for by the Pittsburgh Athletic Company, Incorporated. And how do you do, ladies and gentlemen? I'm Dave Martin. With me is Nellie Briles. Lanny Fratteri will be along a little later. Tonight we're going to see the Pirates and the Expos, the two teams that waged a whale of a battle for the National League East title last year, as you well remember. The Pirates finally went into first place on the 5th of August. They stayed there until the 12th of September. From then to the end of the season, it was a seesaw battle, a thrilling, exciting battle between these two teams. With one game to play, the Pirates led the Expos by only one game. Pirates won it by 2. And, Nellie, what, in your opinion, did turn the tide?
Well, I think it was the Pirates coming out of last place in early April, meeting the challenge of the Expos in September, went in with just 1 percentage point behind the Expos. By the time the series was over, they were 2 games up. And this, basically, is how they did it. On September 17th, the first of these 2 important games, Dave Parker's 2-run double provided the margin. And with an ailing Don Robinson's strong performance, gave the Pirates a big 2-1 victory. Then in Game 2, Omar Moreno scores. But unfortunately, the Pirates can't hold that lead. And after the Expos tied the game, it was Kent Tekulve and Grant Jackson who shut down the Expos. Then Captain Willie Stargell's 2-run homer gave the Pirates the win, and the family was thinking pennant. And Dave, they're going to be thinking pennant again this year. They want to repeat. And the key is going to depend on what club gets the best consistent pitching all year.
Well, tonight we're going to see 2 of the game's best pitchers, Rogers and Blyleven. The Pirates and Expos played 3 times last week in Montreal. They were all 3 bitter cold afternoons, but the Pirates won 2 of those 3. However, the game they lost was the game that Steve Rogers pitched against Bert Blyleven, a 3-2 decision, a tough luck loss for Bert Blyleven. That's the pitching matchup for tonight, and we'll be back with all the action right after this. The Giant Eagle Home Run Sweepstakes will be played all season long during every Pirate TV game. To enter, pick up an entry card at any of the 45 Pittsburgh area Giant Eagle locations and send to Giant Eagle Home Run Sweepstakes, Box 227, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, 15230. There's no purchase necessary, but you must be at least 18 years of age. Employees of KDKA and Giant Eagle and their families are not eligible. During tonight's game, we'll have 3 Giant Eagle Home Run Sweepstakes innings. The jackpot is now $1,300. So stay with us for all the Home Run Sweepstakes excitement. Here's the batting order for the Montreal Expos. Ron LaFleur will lead off and play left. Tony Bernazard at second. Andre Dawson in center. Ellis Valentine in right. Larry Parrish at third base. Gary Carter, the catcher. Warren Cromartie at first base. Chris Spire at short. And pitching is Steve Rogers for the Montreal Expos, managed by Dick Williams.
Defensively for the Pittsburgh Pirates, we'll have Mike Easler, number 24 in left. Omar Moreno be patrolling center field, number 18. Dave the Cobra Parker is in right field, number 39. Willie Stargell playing first base, team captain. Phil Gardner at second. Tim Foley, number 10 at short. Bill Madlock at third, number 5. Behind the plate, catcher Ed Ott, number 14, and on the mound, Bert Hardluck Blyleven, number 22.
Okay, we're ready to go here in the first of a 3-game series. First game of this homestand at Three Rivers Stadium. Leading off for the Expos is Ron LaFleur. I want to remind you that tonight at 9 o'clock, we will carry President Carter's news conference live. Particularly important news conference, and here's the first pitch to LaFleur on the Iranian crisis, and you will hear it in its entirety and live at 9 o'clock tonight here on this station. Ball 2 count on Ron LaFleur. Here's the speed demon of the Montreal Expos and the newest Expo. Y11 winding. Strike knee high. Ball 2, strike 1. Nellie, they've got loads and loads of speed at the top of this batting order. First 3 men, 2 of the first 3 are particularly fast on the bases. And of course, the Pirates want to keep a fellow like LaFleur off the bases, but right now they're in danger of losing him. Count is ball 3, strike 1.
Now, surprisingly, Dave, even though Montreal does have that good speed, they don't have very many stolen bases and do not really try and steal as a ball club.
Now it's ball 3, strike 2. LaFleur stole 78 bases for the Detroit Tigers last year. He played center mostly for Detroit. He's playing left for Montreal. That's Blyleven with an 0-2 record and a 2.42 earned run average. He's pitched in tough luck so far this year. He's had good stuff each time out. This is his 5th start. 3-2 pitch. He walked him, so LaFleur is on to start the ball game. Tough way to start. Walking that speed merchant. Here's Tony Bernazard, who had a home run off Blyleven last Wednesday in Montreal. Bernazard is in the lineup in place of Rodney Scott, who's been benched for weak hitting. Stargell holding LaFleur on. And there goes LaFleur, and here's a hit to left field, left center. LaFleur will make third easily as Easler throws the ball towards second. So it's first and third, nobody out for the Expos quickly here in the first inning. LaFleur was breaking with the pitch.
Well, Bird is having trouble getting started here, walking the leadoff batter, and is what happens when you walk that leadoff batter. You create situations. LaFleur off and running. Bernazard takes advantage of the open hole and hits that base hit to left. Runners at first and third with nobody out in the first inning.
Andre Dawson, the hitter. That's LaFleur at third. Now, Dawson had 35 stolen bases last year. And he's also a real threat up there at the plate. Stands up in the batter's box, as you can see, up forward in the box. Count is ball 1.
We're going to have to watch Bert Blyleven tonight. Bert doesn't like to pitch with extra days rest. As a matter of fact, they were going to move him ahead of Jim Bibby to pitch the game on Sunday in Chicago as he tries a fake move to third and pick off at first to no avail. But Bert doesn't like to feel real strong on a mound, and he has a couple of extra days rest tonight, so it's going to be interesting to see how the extra rest affects Bert this evening.
Here's the 1-0 pitch. That makes it 2 balls, no strikes. Blyleven was due to pitch Sunday in Chicago when we got the rain out. Now time is called. Conference at the mound. Ed Ott and Willie Stargell talking to Blyleven to make sure they're all set on that infield defense they want in this situation. Dawson has good power. Dawson comes into the game with 3 home runs this year, 10 runs batted in, a .267 average.
One school of thought here is that Dawson should probably take this pitch. But others are that if you get a good pitch and you're a good hitter, you can rip this pitch.
He swung on it but fouled it. Ball 2, strike 1. The plate ump is Colosi. We have Brocklander, Harvey, and Olson on the bases tonight. Blyleven roughing up a new baseball. Bert's high water mark in strikeouts was against the Cardinals April 19th when he fanned 12. His last start against the Expos, he struck out 7. Outside. So it's ball 3, strike 1 now on Dawson with Valentine on deck. 2 on, nobody out. First inning. Expos threatening. 3-1 pitch. To Garner. To Foley. To Stargell. Double play, run scores. Expos lead 1-0. A second to short to first double play. Garner to Foley to Stargell. But the Pirates give up a run. Here's Valentine. Well, the double play was made. LaFleur crossed the plate.
We're very fortunate. That was exactly what Bert wanted to do. Preferably, he would have been able to strike out Dawson, then get the double play. But he was able on 3-1 to come back and get Dawson to hit that double play ball, and we turned yet another double play.
Valentine takes it outside. We had a chance to talk with Bert Blyleven and asked him how he's going to pitch to the Expos.
Well, I'm going to give him a fastball, curveball, and a changeup. That's it.
Well, that's short and sweet. I think that was his answer because basically he throws a fastball, a curveball, and a changeup.
And has an excellent change that he's developed within the last year. Here's a ground ball to short. Foley's got it. Throw. Out to retire the side. 1 run, 1 hit. At the middle of the first inning. Expos 1. Pirates coming to bat. Here's the batting order for the Pittsburgh Pirates, managed by Chuck Tanner. The leadoff man, Omar Moreno, in center field. Tim Foley at short. Dave Parker in right. Willie Stargell at first. Mike Easler in left. Bill Madlock at third. Ed Ott, the catcher. Phil Garner at second. And Bert Blyleven, the pitcher.
Defensively behind Steve Rogers tonight will be Ron LaFleur in left, Andre Dawson in center, and Ellis Valentine in right. Warren Cromartie will be at first, Tony Bernazard at second, Chris Spire at short, Larry Parrish at third, Gary Carter behind the plate, and on the mound, Steve Rogers.
Omar Moreno just fouled off the first pitch by Steve Rogers here on the last of the first inning. Omar hitting .237, no homers, 3 runs batted in. Ground ball, hit to right center for Moreno. Dawson throws it back in. Ball just did get past Tony Bernazard, the second baseman, going far to his right.
Well, Omar is trying to be more aggressive at the plate as of late and does what he does best, and that's hit the ball on the ground hard up the middle and drives it right past the diving Tony Barnazard. We've got something going ourselves, Dave.
So it's a similar situation. LaFleur, with great speed, reached base on a walk for Montreal in the first inning and later scored. Now we have Moreno with great speed on at first base with a base hit. Moreno has 8 stolen bases in 9 tries this year. Tim Foley at the plate, batting .293. No homers and 6 runs batted in. Choked up on that bat. Pegged to first, and he's back in hand first. Omar's been thrown out only once this year. That's a pretty good lead over there, as you can see. Now Rogers to the stretch. Turns and looks. Doesn't throw. Now he throws. See, the great speed of Moreno now makes the pitcher worry not only about the hitter, but about the runner. He's got 2 things to think about. Missed outside, ball 1. I don't know about you, Nellie, but when I think about more than one thing at once, I have trouble. So if Rogers is anything at all like I am, he's got a little problem out here. He's got 2 guys to think about.
That's why you like to keep those speed merchants off the base so that you can concentrate on that hitter. Here he's dividing his attention. He does have a good move and almost got Omar, but Omar was able to get back, which means that Omar definitely has his lead measured. He knows just how far he can get off and still get back. He's also seen Rogers' best move so that he's getting him timed right now.
Now Moreno gets up and calls time. Steve Rogers looking over the baseball. This guy is the oldest Expo in point of service. Been with the Expos longer than any other player now on their roster. Pitch out. Moreno stayed at first. The guessing game going. The Expos thought he would be going that time, and he wasn't. The Expos guessed wrong. Count is ball 2. 2-0 now. The pitch puts Rogers in the hole with the batter, Foley. He's back, but he had to reach out with that long right arm. Score is 1-0 in favor of Montreal. We're in the last of the first inning. There he goes. Safe as the catcher dropped the ball. No play at second. The ball popped out of Gary Carter's mitt. Rolled 10 feet away. Moreno has his 9th stolen base in 10 tries.
And I think right here a key for the stolen base with Omar Moreno after he gets an excellent jump off of first base was Tim Foley deking the catcher a little bit with a fake bunt. Carter momentarily took his eye off the ball and the runner and never caught the ball. Omar with a stolen base.
Next pitch through the middle to make it ball 3, strike 1. The pitch on which Moreno stole second was called a ball to make it 3-0. Now it's 3-1 on Foley. With Moreno at second and nobody out, we're in the last of the first. 3-1 pitch. There's a high chopper to short. Fumbled by Spire. Safe all around. First and third, nobody out. Same situation the Expos had at the top of the first.
This is just a good break for the Pirates as Foley is jammed on a good pitch by Rogers, but he hits that high chopper and a charging Spire just can't come up with a very difficult play.
Foley at first base. And Dave Parker, the Cobra, waiting to strike. .350 batting average. 3 home runs, 11 runs batted in. Off to a fast start at the plate. Is the big guy. Close stance, deep in the box. First and third, nobody out. Ball 1 low.
Tough handle, tough chance for Spire on that ball as being a high chopper, knew he had to rush to try and get Foley, but the ball came up on him. It was a do-or-die play for him. He just couldn't come up with it.
Foul ball. Count is 1-1 on Parker, who comes in tonight with a 13-game hitting streak. 21 hits in his last 56 at-bats. That means he's hit safely in every game since the first day of the season at St. Louis. Pete Vukovich held him hitless that day. Rogers in a jam. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Strike called by Nick Colosi, the plate ump, to make it ball 1, strike 2 on Parker.
Good strong pitch by Rogers coming over the inside part of the plate. The ball started off the plate and broke over the inside corner. And of course, Davy Parker has his work cut out for him here. He needs to make contact. He does not want to strike out in this situation.
Foul ball. Parker has struck out 7 times this year. You expect power hitters to strike out a little more than other hitters. Now the 1-2 pitch. Now it's 2-2. Parker jackknifed away from a low, close pitch. I tell you, he's ominous looking at the plate, isn't he, Nellie? It's got to scare you if nothing else, but he does more than scare you. He does the job. And he's off to a great start this year. Rogers getting ready for the 2-2 delivery, then decides he's not ready.
This year, we mentioned it earlier in our telecast, this year they're pitching to Davy Parker and not so much to Willie Stargell.
Long wallop, way back. It is gone. A home run, and the Pirates lead 3-1. Man alive. Dave Parker parked one into the right field bleachers, facing the front bleachers. That's home run number 4 for Parker, and the Pirates lead 3-1.
You know, and what happens when you have to pitch to Parker instead of Stargell? Nothing but the worst, as Davy got all of this ball. There was no doubt as Ellis Valentine just watched the ball sail over the fence for a big first-inning 3-run homer for the Cobra.
It was labeled home run at the crack of the bat, and here is Willie Stargell. Strike on the outside corner. So the Bucks waste no time in coming back. Stargell hitting .240, 1 home run, 4 runs batted in. 3-1 Pirates, first inning. Change up. He fooled him with that pitch, and it's 2 strikes on Stargell. Moreno and Foley scored ahead of Parker, who slugged his 4th home run of the year. Strike. He's out. Stargell backed away from the pitch. The ump called it a strike over the inside corner knee high, so he's called out, and that's the first out.
Well, Rogers finally concentrates and makes a very good pitch. I think Willie gave up on this ball a little early, and the ball had real good movement toward the outside part of the plate and got the called strike.
Here's the hitman, Mike Easler, red hot, batting .421 on the pitch to him. Strike called outside corner.
Rogers, the good pitcher that he is, learns that you can't just challenge everybody all the time, is starting to mix his pitches a little better and change speeds.
Count goes to ball 1, strike 1. Parker homered off Rogers last Wednesday in Montreal. He homered with 2 out of the 9th inning to make the final score 3-2 for the Expos. Change up. Check swing and a strike to make it ball 1, strike 2. Parker has now homered off Darrell Knowles, Pete Vukovich, and Rogers twice this year. Knowles the only left-hander. Ball 2, 2-2 now on Easler.
Well, when Dave puts a charge in one, there's no doubt. You don't have to wait to call in when he smacks it.
Ball 3, 3-2 now on the hit man. Easler got his first start 1 week ago today in Montreal. He has started every game since. This is the 5th straight game he has started. Bernazard has it. Out at first, and there's 2 gone. Bernazard to Cromartie, second to first. It's 2 out, and it brings up Bill Madlock. Rogers kind of rooting for himself with that gesture. Number 45. Madlock is hitting .263, no homers and 3 runs batted in. 2 out, nobody on. The Pirates lead 3-1 in the first inning. Strike. Fastball hit the outside corner.
You sure wouldn't think with these 2 pitchers going against one another tonight that we'd have as much action this early in the game as we've had, but tonight's might be an off night for both sides.
Foul ball outside of first. It is out of play. Cromartie was ready to climb the fence, go right into the seats after that one. You know, conceivably, he could have climbed over that railing down there. Look at this.
He has an idea of where he wants to go, but the arms aren't long enough, and a fan definitely, I don't think, played much ball before. His hands are pretty hard with the ball bouncing out of his hands that far.
Got us 2 strikes on Madlock as Rogers gets ready. Blew him back with that pitch to make it 1-2. Rogers is not a particularly good fielding pitcher. 1-2 pitch. Ground ball to short. Fumbled by Spire. Spire has already made 1 error in this inning, and that could also be called an error. I'll wait for the official ruling, though.
Madlock gets a lot of wood on the ball, but hits it toward the shortstop side of second base. And Spire was able to get the glove down, but not able to let the ball roll into it. And it's definitely an error, and he again puts Rogers in the hole.
Now the Montreal trainer is on the field to take a look at Chris Spire. And Bernazard, or rather Spire, I should say, number 4. Dick Williams, the manager, on this side. Now that ball apparently caromed off his foot. He's drawn 2 errors in this inning.
Spire, in playing shortstop, has had some trouble physically, and I think as he was walking off the field, it illustrated the fact that he again hurt that lower back. He had problems earlier this season and at a key point last season. He hasn't been able to overcome those physical problems, so they have to at this point insert Bill Allman at shortstop, who came over from San Diego in an off-season deal for Dave Cash.
Allman is number 6. That's Rogers on the mound. Madlock at first base, 2 out, 3 runs in, 2 errors by Spire in this inning. And Spire now has left the game with Billy Allman, a Brown University product, now playing shortstop for Montreal. Phil Garner will be up after the Pirate catcher, Ed Ott. Ott up there right now, a left-hand hitter. Ball 1. Ott is hitting .286, no home runs, 6 runs batted in. Count goes to 2 balls, no strikes on Ott. Second game of this series tomorrow night. Bill Lee is slated to pitch for the Expos. That should be interesting. Bill is one of the game's great characters right now. They nickname is Spaceman. He wears the long beard, and he is kind of a refreshing personality. Here's a strike call to the outside corner. Ball 2, strike 1. I was going to use the word eccentric to describe him. That might be a little bit too strong. But Bill is a colorful guy, and he'll pitch tomorrow night. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Now it's ball 2 and strike 2 on Ott. Adjusting his batting glove. Big, sturdy guy. This guy's a Real rock at the plate for the Pirates when he's guarding that plate in that catcher's gear. Madlock has some speed, but he also has an aching knee. Stole some bases last year, though, for the Pirates. 2-2 is the count on Ott. Hot smash. Cromartie's got it. The inning is over. 3 runs, 2 hits, 2 errors, 1 man left. After 1, Pirates 3, Expos 1. Fireworks night.
Saturday night, May 3rd, will be the first of 3 great fireworks nights at Pirates games this season at Three Rivers Stadium. This is second baseman Phil Garner of the Pirates. This year, Lay's and Ruffles Potato Chips are sponsoring our fireworks nights, so they promise to be better than ever. Why not bring your whole family to our game with Atlanta on Saturday, May 3rd, and see baseball's best fireworks display?
We are family.
Bert Blyleven gets ready to start the top of the second inning. He'll face Larry Parrish first of all. Big, powerful right-hand hitter off to a fast start with a .340 average. First pitch to him. Ball 1.
He's really matured at the plate in the last 2 years, coming up not only with a higher batting average, but displaying that power that they thought he had all along.
Foul ball. So it's 1-1. Parrish hit a home run off Blyleven last Wednesday in Montreal, and then he followed that up with a great game in Atlanta over the weekend. He drove in 7 runs in 1 game against the Atlanta Braves. However, the Expos lost that game 8-7. Good curveball that time, and it's ball 1, strike 2. Blyleven known for his sharp breaking curve. Curve was high to make it 2-2.
Bert tried to show him a little type of different breaking ball that time. Dropped down a little bit, but got just a little under the pitch with his wrist and kept it up high.
Fly ball should be caught in left center field. Moreno under it and has it for the first out. Parrish is out, and it brings up Gary Carter.
Number 8, Gary Carter.
Blyleven won 12 and lost 5 last year. Of the 37 games he started, the Pirates won 27. But he had a lot of no decisions last year. Strike to Carter, strike 1. Chris Spire, the Montreal shortstop, injured in the first inning, left with a strained back, we're told. Foul ball. Count a strike 2 on Carter. The Montreal catcher hitting .232 with 2 homers and 8 runs batted in.
It gets to be very frustrating for a veteran ball player when injuries keep you from producing the way that you know you can. And Spire has been an excellent offensive ball player in the past, very adequate on defense with a rifle arm, and for these nagging injuries to keep him continually out of the lineup, I know it has to be very frustrating for him.
Pop fly ball in the infield. Stargell has it in foul territory. 2 out. Special hi tonight to Pam Nicosia, just home from the hospital with new daughter Kelly Lynn, both doing fine. Steve Nicosia, proud, happy father, Pirate catcher. Pam's home tonight and watching the game. Hope she's enjoying it. Here's Warren Cromartie.
Boy, and the ropes that he was passing out in Chicago as a proud pop of those cigars. I don't know where he found them, but they had to be the strongest cigars I've ever smelled.
Ball 1 to Cromartie. .358 batting average, 3 homers, 7 runs batted in. Fly ball to left. Easler has it to retire the side. Nothing across. At the middle of inning number 2, the Pirates 3, the Expos 1.
Under our contractual arrangements with the Pirates for this telecast, the announcers for this game have been selected by station KDKA-TV, subject to the approval of the Pittsburgh Pirates Baseball Club.
Batting in the 8th position for the Pirates.
Garner leads off. There's the baby father, Steve Nicosia, blowing the bubble, sitting next to the Pirate trainer, Tony Barterall. Phil Garner hits the first pitch on the ground to the shortstop, Allman. The throw, out at first. Garner out from Allman to Cromartie. That brings up Bert Blyleven. Rogers shooting for his third one of the year. His earned run average 4.68. His earned run average not nearly as impressive as Blyleven's. Steve has a couple of wins, and Bert is still looking for his first one. There's Bert's ERA, 2.42.
Rogers seemed to be looking for the answer in that baseball. Talk to me. Tell me what in the world I've been doing wrong. Give me the answer. I've never had one talk back yet. I thought there were some answers in it, too.
Out goes to 2 strikes. Nellie, that reminds me of something I want to ask you later on. Here's the 2-strike pitch. He is out on strikes. Blyleven struck out. That's 2 strikeouts now for Rogers. Brings up Moreno. Now Moreno is going to come up there. He led off the game in the last of the first inning with a single that stole second. And we talked about the tug of war then that ensued between the pitcher, the runner, and the hitter. When you were pitching, who was the fastest guy you had to contend with on the bases?
I believe one of the best base stealers, the guy that was the biggest threat early in my career, was Maury Wills. Maury wasn't the fastest guy in baseball, but he was the best base stealer and best base runner. And he was really difficult to hold on because he studied the pitcher, knew your moves, and he also knew how the catcher threw and how that hitter behind him would hit when he was on base. He just used all the angles and was an outstanding base stealer. He was probably one of the toughest that I had to face, and right behind him was a guy named Willie Mays.
Count now is ball 2, strike 1 on Moreno.
One of the best base stealers that I ever watched, of course, and played with was Lou Brock. Lou just had outstanding speed and fantastic acceleration. Just outran the ball.
Billy Allman's got it. Fires. Good pickup by Cromartie. Out to retire the side. 3 up, 3 down. That's the end of 2 innings. The score of the game, the Pirates 3 and the Expos 1. Montreal coming to bat now on the top of the 3rd at Three River Stadium in Pittsburgh. The side of another game here tomorrow night at 7:35 and an afternoon game on Thursday at 12:35. Billy Allman leading off. A-L-M-O-N. Here's the pitch to him. Strike in the outside corner. Allman is hitting .364. No homers and 1 run batted in. Through the middle, 2 strikes. Allman has been up 11 times this year and has 4 hits. And the 0-2 pitch. A waste pitch, ball 1, strike 2.
Last year, Montreal had a problem at shortstop when Spire was hurt. They moved Rodney Scott over to shortstop and filled in at second base with Davy Cash when Cash wasn't playing much last season. So the offseason trade Allman for Dave Cash more or less shored up the infield. Allman can play all of the infield positions where Davy Cash was primarily limited to second base. Pirate fans remember Dave Cash from his fine years here in Pittsburgh.
Long wallop, center field, caught by Moreno. Hit that ball pretty hard, but Moreno raced into left center and caught it for the first out. That brings up the Montreal pitcher, Steve Rogers. Steve is the pride of Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. Moreno going back to his position. Here he is. Rogers. Curve is in there. Rogers has a .333 batting average, 2 hits and 6 times up. Count is ball 1 and strike 1. Pitcher against pitcher. 1-1 pitch, foul ball. Ball 1, strike 2. We're in the 3rd inning. With the Pirates leading 3-1. Pirates have 2 hits. The Expos have 1 hit. 1-2 pitch. Curve is outside. 2-2. 1 out and nobody on. First 2 men up in the 1st inning reached base. Since then, Blyleven has retired 6 batters in a row. 2-2 pitch to Rogers. Check swing. Ump checks with the first base ump Rocklander, and it's called a ball. Ball 3, strike 2. Pelosi, the plate ump tonight. Rocklander at first base. Outside, he walked the opposing pitcher to break a string of 6 batters in a row. Blyleven retired, and it brings up the leadoff man, LaFleur. Jacket goes down to first base now to the pitcher to put on. There's LaFleur, who walked the last time up.
That's, Dave, why you hate to see a pitcher throw an opposing pitcher or a weak hitter a 2-2 breaking ball, because if you miss, now it's 3-2, and if you happen to miss with the next pitch or come in fat with it, he's got a better chance of getting a base hit, or you end up walking him. And here with 1 out, you walk the opposing pitcher and set up an inning at a time when Bird has been struggling early. I just don't think it was a good selection of pitches at that time.
Bird gets ready. There's a swing and a tap foul by Ron LaFleur, and the count is strike 1. Madlock goes over to pick it up. LaFleur drew a walk the first time up. His batting average is .255, no homers, and only 1 run batted in. He's a much more productive hitter than that normally. Curve, a beauty. That's 2 strikes now on LaFleur. He took that pitch. Bird's ready. Way outside. Ball 1, strike 2. LaFleur hit exactly .300 last year for the Tigers. 9 home runs, 57 runs batted in. And the 1-2 pitch. In the gap in left center. That's trouble. Bounces to the wall. Moreno up with it. Throw comes into Foley and on into the infield where Stargell takes it. The runners hold at 2nd and 3rd. A double to the gap in left center by Ron LaFleur. Moves Rogers around to 3rd base. Coach Ozzie Virgil talking to him.
This is what happens when you walk that pitcher. A high hanging breaking ball that LaFleur just drills into left center. And we might mention right here the fine play of Omar Moreno, who plays the ball off the wall, hits the cutoff man, and by hitting the cutoff man, he stops Rogers at 3rd base. LaFleur has no choice but to pull into 2nd, and we still have a chance to maybe get out of the inning if Blyleven can get Bernazard here.
2nd and 3rd, 1 out the situation now for the Expos in the 3rd. The Pirates lead 3-1. Strike. That sharp curveball of Blyleven's was in there. Tony Bernazard singled the last time up.
This is the key for Burt getting out of the inning. Try and get Bernazard on a strikeout here if he possibly can, making it 2-way.
High. Now it's 1-1. Bernazard hit 322 games for the Expos last year. Also hit 382 games at Denver in AAA. Now the 1-1 pitch. Curve. Strike. 3rd base umpire Andy Olson made that call. You saw the plate ump check with Olson.
This is a difficult call by an umpire. Did he go around or didn't he? And I see his hands way out past the plate. He most certainly did.
So it's ball 1, strike 2 on Tony Bernazard. Switch hitter, batting left-handed.
Good pitch on him, Bert. You need to get him here.
Throw to 2nd. He is safe. Foley got in there quickly, took that throw, and LaFleur was nearly picked off. Count is ball one, strike two. First base open, one out. The pitch. Tap on the ground. Foley up with the ball. The runner's holding. The throw. He is out. Just did get him. The runners hold at second and third. Well, Bernazard went streaking down that line, and they got him only by an eyelash.
This is a ball that was off the end of the bat of Bernazard, and luckily a pitcher was running, could not see that it was slowly hit, and Bernazard, with outstanding speed, just almost beat the play. But a good strong throw by Foley enabled him to make the putout. Rogers very upset that he didn't go in on that ball, didn't read the ball off the bat, didn't get the good jump, and didn't score that run.
So the runners are still at second and third. Rogers at third, LaFleur at second, and this is Andre Dawson. There's two out. This guy's a tough out. Hit sharply into a double play the last time up. Good fastball, but it was in too close and high. Ball one.
Most of these Expo right-handed hitters are good fastball hitters, like the ball out over the plate. So Bert's going to be working them tight with that fastball and getting his breaking ball over.
Hop fly, right field. Could be trouble.
Yeah! Just an all-out effort by Phil Garner, not knowing if he could possibly catch it. Makes a fine two-run diving save. What a save he made.
At the middle of the third, Pirates 3, Expos 1. This is it. Ed McCracken of Tarentum, Pennsylvania, can root the Bucks home during this half of the third inning. If a home run is hit, you will win $1,300 worth of Giant Eagle groceries, and in addition, certificates for 10 Tasty Cake family packs and Daly's juice products redeemable at your grocer. Here's Foley to lead off now in the last of the third. Started this game hitting .308 against Montreal this year. His overall season's average up to the minute is .288. Strike called. Nelia Garner's play, in my opinion, was the best play we've seen all season so far. The best fielding play. There he is, Phil Garner in the Pirate dugout. He saved 2 runs for Bert Blyleven and the Pirates.
He's just the epitome of what you love in a Major League Baseball player.
Base
All-out
hit,
effort.
I believe. Up with the ball is Bernazard. It is a hit. Foley smashed it through the box. Bernazard got to it behind second, but saw that he had no play, so simply held the baseball, and Tim Foley has a hit.
Foley was just able to roll the ball right up the middle, and it just went right to the left of second base, and neither the shortstop or the second baseman could cut it off, and Tim beat out an infield hit.
There's Parker, who has hit home runs his last 2 times up against Steve Rogers.
We were saying when Foley got the base hit that Phil is actually the epitome of what you love to see in a Major League Baseball player. All-out effort 100% of the time.
Ground ball to Cromartie. Up with the ball, steps on the bag, and Foley is safe at second. Parker is out to Cromartie unassisted. And there's Foley at second base. He was quickly down to second. The ball was hit just a step off the bag to Cromartie, who got Parker, and it brings up Stargell. Here's Willie having a conversation at the plate before he steps in. Called out on strikes the first time up. Teammate at second with 1 out. Pirates lead 3-1 in the last of the third. Curve, and he fouled it. Off to the right, strike 1.
I wouldn't be surprised in this situation if Rogers doesn't try to pitch around Willie and make basically a young hitter beat them instead of a powerful Willie Stargell.
Interesting figure. 37 home runs hit by Stargell against Montreal, more than any other player.
Even more reason to pitch around him.
Rogers ready. High and close. This is an interesting figure on Rogers. Rogers with a 3 earned run average has the top ERA over the past 2 seasons combined. 1-1 pitch coming up. That makes it ball 2 and strike 1 on Stargell. Rogers is 30 years old. 6'1" and 182. Was born in Missouri. Jefferson City, now lives in Oklahoma. Well, if Stargell hits one right here, hits one out. Here's the runner breaking to third. The throw, safe at third base. Foley caught Rogers napping and stole third without a pitch being made. He streaked for third. Rogers threw to Parrish, and Foley is safe.
Good throw by Rogers, who alertly saw Foley break, stepped off, but couldn't get a lot on the throw, threw the ball to the right place on the bag. But Parrish, in breaking over, came to the outside part of the bag and actually missed the tag as Foley was coming in. He just surprised everybody. Parrish lost his footing, tried to get the glove over, but Foley slid in under it. Very alert play by Timmy. Must have caught Rogers looking down at the ground too often and not double-checking the runner at second base.
2-1 pitch, foul ball. 2-2 on Stargell. Well, something like that could unnerve a pitcher and increase the percentage right here of Stargell hitting one out for Ed McCracken of Tarentum, Pennsylvania. Runner at third base. That was only the 2nd stolen base this year for Tim Foley. Now at third base. Pirates have been doing things like that all season long, Nellie. They've been playing heads-up alert baseball, taking advantage of the opposition's mental mistakes. The infield is in, and the pitch is a strike through the middle. For the 2nd straight time, Stargell is called out on strikes. You watched it go by. It looked like a fastball let her high, and it brings up Mike Easler. Now the infield can play back. We're drawn in with Foley at third base. We had a chance to talk with Mike Easler and asked him if he's doing anything differently to experience such success at the plate.
Well, the thing is, I've been concentrating in batting practice. You know, as a pitch hit, I knew what my job was last year. I worked real hard this spring, and I had a real good spring, and it's carried on to the season because, you know, I got to start now, and I've started the last 4 games. It's the 5th game, and my time is still there, and I feel great.
First pitch to him is a strike. Strike 1 on Easler. First time up, he grounded out to the second baseman, Bernazard. His up-to-date batting average is .400. Foley at third, 2 out. Pirates batting in the last half of inning number 3. They lead 3-1. Mike crouches at the plate, as you can see in the pitch. That makes it 2 strikes on Easler.
Now, believe it or not, that last pitch to Willie Stargell was not the pitch that Rogers wanted to make. He wanted to make that pitch right on the inside corner, and that ball ended up going right over the middle of the plate where Rogers didn't want to throw it, and I think it surprised Willie that the pitch was that good and ended up taking it for a called third strike.
Mike has 3 home runs this year. Ball is high. So it's ball 1, strike 2. Runner at third, 2 out. Easler with a chance to put $1,300 worth of Giant Eagle groceries in the pantry of Ed McCracken of Tarentum, Pennsylvania. He hits one out. All is high to make it 2-2. Mike hit a pair of home runs in his first start a week ago today. A real thrill to see that, Nellie. This guy's got that good, positive attitude. Never did complain while he was riding the bench.
A lot of times all the ball player asks for is a chance and an opportunity, and so far he's been able to take advantage of that opportunity.
Ground ball past Allman, run scores 4-1. Favor the Pirates. The hot smash to the left of Billy Allman. He could not come up with it. Karam by him into center field. They'll probably call that a hit.
The ball was hit very hard. Mike was able to inside out that ball a little bit. I thought the ball should have been caught. Sure was hit hard. Came up on him a little bit at the last minute. But the most important thing about this play was the alert base running of Tim Foley, who stole third base. And if Tim doesn't steal that base, we might not be able to score that run. We would have probably held him at third base.
It is ruled a base hit for Easler and a run batted in. Brings up Bill Madlock. Sits safely in 7 of the last 9 games. There's a high fly ball, right field. Getting under it is Valentine, and he's got it. 1 run and 2 hits. No home run was hit during this Giant Eagle sweepstakes inning, but no one ever loses here. Our contestant, Ed McCracken, will receive certificates for 10 Tasty Cake family packs and Daly's juice products redeemable at your grocer. Our next Giant Eagle sweepstakes will be worth $1,400. Score: Pirates 4, Expos 1. Scoops it up. Throw. He's out. 1 gone. Valentine out. Garner to Stargell. It brings up Parrish. Good play by Phil, moving just a step to his right. But the great play of the year by any member of the Pirates, Garner made to end the 3rd with 2 men on, 2 out. He made a sensational diving, sliding catch in right field to save 2 runs. Here's Parrish. Score is 4-1. The Pirates lead. Strike call. Parrish flied out to center the first time up. Foul ball. Now, Nellie, I've got a note on Blyleven. And that is that here's the pitch. Foul ball. That in the 4th, 5th, and 6th innings, he tends to maybe get just a bit careless, and the catcher has to really stay on him when we get into these middle innings. It'll be interesting to watch him right here.
I think so far tonight, in his first 3 innings, he hasn't had near the control or the rhythm.
Hot. Ooh, he got his glove on it. Hot got his glove on that ball. Nearly made the catch at the railing right near the Pirate dugout. But couldn't quite hold on. So it's a foul strike, and it's 2 strikes on Parrish.
I tell you what, the people get a lot of their money's worth when they come to watch the Pirates play, because you have catchers like Ed Ott that go as hard as they can after everything, and Phil Garner, and goes right into the photographer's booth. Ed Ott comes out all right, but I'm not so sure about that Nikon and a super lens.
Swing and a miss. He got him on a curveball. Sharp curve, and Perry struck out. Brings up Gary Carter. 2 out in the 4th.
Catcher, Gary Carter.
You were saying, Nellie, that Blyleven's rhythm hasn't been quite what it should be tonight?
It hasn't been in the early innings, and this might be because of the couple of extra days of rest that he had, but he seems now to be settling down a little bit. Better fastball and better rhythm.
Foul ball.
His control is even improving, and I think his confidence now is getting the better part of his mental composure on the mound. This is the biggest battle that Bert Blyleven has to face, is his concentration and believing in himself that it doesn't matter the amount of rest. Is what matters is when he gets to that mound and handling the way he's pitching that particular night.
Now it's 1-1. Tomorrow night it'll be Bibby against Lee at 7:35. Tomorrow night is Buck night here at the ballpark. Thursday afternoon is the final game of the series. Foul ball is coming Saturday night when the Pirates play the Atlanta Braves. Is the big fireworks night right after the game. Game time Saturday is 7:05. Count is ball 1, strike 2 on Carter. 2 out, nobody on. We're in the top of the 4th. Pirates lead 4-1.
This is just another game in the series of many that will be battling with this ball club all year. They're going to be tough. They'll be there.
One hopper to Madlock. Out at first to retire the side. 3 up, 3 down at the middle of the 4th inning. Pirates 4, Expos 1.
50 cents, and Thursday, May 1st, is an afternoon working person special that will start at 12:35. Hey, and it's also Ladies' Day.
All ladies attending that game will receive a $1.50 ticket discount. That's the Expos against the Pirates tomorrow night and Thursday. Don't miss it. Thursday afternoon, the game starts at 12:35. Here's Steve Rogers as we go to the last of the 4th inning. He'll face Ott, Garner, and Blyleven. The Thursday pitchers will be Candelaria for the Pirates and David Palmer for the Expos. And tomorrow night's pitchers are Jim Bibby and Bill Lee. Here's Ed Ott. Pirate catcher. He grounded to the first baseman Cromartie the first time up. Ball one. Pirates have been seeing a lot of right-hand pitchers, so Ed Ott has been getting a lot of playing time. He and Nicosia platoon behind the plate. He hits center field. Dawson after the ball. Hit number 5 off Steve Rogers. Brings up Phil Garner.
You know, this is exactly why Ed Ott has also been playing quite a bit. It hasn't mattered who's been on the mound. He drills the ball up the middle, been pulling the ball to right field. He's just been very steady behind the plate and at bat.
Here's Garner, who grounded to short the first time up. Hitting .271 right up to the minute. Knee high, strike call. If Garner doesn't get a hit tonight and contributes nothing at all at the plate, he has contributed in the field. He took 2 runs right off the scoreboard for Montreal. Pitch out. Throw to first. Back. Ott was well off the bag, and Carter had a play on him at first. Cromartie took the throw, but Ott got back. Count is 1-1 on Garner.
Rogers finds himself much in the position tonight as he did the last time that he faced the Pirates and Bert Blyleven. He's behind, so he knows in his own mind he has to concentrate on that mound. He cannot afford to give up any more runs. He is also the 3rd hitter in next inning.
Count goes to ball 2, strike 1. Carter made a good stop on that pitch. Garner looking toward Joe Lonette, coaching at 3rd. Now Rogers ready. 2-1 pitch with Ott going. Foul ball. Ott broke with a pitch. Garner fouled it off, so now it's 2-2. Bill Garner from the University of Tennessee facing Steve Rogers, who graduated from Tulsa with a Bachelor of Science degree in petroleum engineering. There he is. Rogers collects coins and Indian arrowheads and likes to do crossword puzzles. 2-2 is the count. Here's the next one. Foul ball. Still 2-2 on Garner.
One puzzle that Rogers hasn't been able to solve tonight has been the bats of the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Pirates got 3 in the first on Parker's 3-run homer and added another run in the 3rd. Count is 2-2 on Garner. Peg to first. That run in the 3rd, as Nellie pointed out, was manufactured by Foley. He singled, went to second on an infield out, stole 3rd, and scored on a hit by Eastman. Stole 3rd while Rogers was holding the ball at the mound. Rogers made a throw to 3rd, but too late. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Foul ball. Still 2-2 on Garner. Perfect, ideal baseball night tonight. Flagpole is limp. There's no wind. Outfield is playing Garner straight away. Rogers getting the sign. Count is 2-2. Out at first, nobody out. Pitch. High fly ball, right field side, foul ground. It is out of play. First or second row of the seats. First row. Tough angle for Cromartie going back, and also for Bernazard. So it's still 2-2 as Gary Carter walks back to the plate.
Rogers trying to get a double play ball. Garner trying to get that base hit to get something really started here in the bottom of the 4th.
Now he's all set. Hop fly on the foul ground. The catcher Carter makes the grab for the out. Garner fouled out to Carter, brings up Blyleven. Dave Martin with Nellie Briles and Lanny Fratteri.
Pitcher, Bert Blyleven.
And here's Blyleven. Last Pirate pitcher to pitch 3 straight complete games. Pirates have been getting good pitching, though, so far this year. And the delivery. He's ready to bunt it and does bunt it foul. Foul ball. Bunting with 1 out. You wonder perhaps why a manager would have a pitcher bunt with 1 out. I guess the biggest reason is to avoid a double play.
That's one reason. Stay out of the double play, perhaps. Another reason is you're playing for that additional run. That 4th run out there could be the run of the ball game. You try and get that man over. You still have Moreno and Foley with a chance to drive him in.
Strike. He tried to bunt it and missed. 2 strikes.
And let's face it, Rogers isn't the easiest guy to hit off of, especially for a pitcher.
But if he bunts Nelly and he's out, that's the 2nd out. You really only have Moreno to try to drive him in, unless Moreno gets a walk. 2 strikes. He bunts it. Fair ball. Carter's up with it. Juggled it for a moment, but throws Blyleven out. So it's a sacrifice. Carter to Bernazar to cover it first, and it brings up Omar Moreno.
Even though Bird has 2 strikes on him, he lays the ball down. Third baseman is not really charging very hard, and the ball was not down the third base line very far. Carter comes up with it after bobbling it, and Parrish returned to third base to prevent Ott from going all the way to third base on that bunt.
So Ed Ott is at second with 2 out, and the hitter is Omar Moreno. He's been up twice and has 1 hit. Outside, ball 1. Omar. The antelope up there, left-hand hitter. Well, when we came out tonight to the ball game, Nellie, you couldn't help but notice the contrast in weather from the weather we had all last week in Montreal and Chicago. First thing Omar said to me was, "This is my weather." Here's the pitch to him. It's a strike, and it's 1-1.
I really noticed a difference tonight because my nose isn't dripping on my scorecard as it was in Chicago.
I tell you, that was a cold trip we had last week.
That's good.
You were in Chicago Saturday. 1-1 on Omar. 2-1. Saturday in Chicago was the coldest day of all last week. One day seemed to be colder than the previous one.
That's good for us. Makes us appreciate the warm days.
That's right.
But enough's enough.
2-1 on Omar. The next one. There's a fly ball left field. LaFleur coming in. He's got it to retire the side. No runs and 1 hit. Lanny Fratteri will be along to carry you the rest of the way. This is Dave Martin with Nellie Briles, and after 4 innings, Pirates 4, Expos 1.
Hello and a very pleasant good evening once again from Three River Stadium, along with Dave Martin, Lanny Fratteri, and Nellie Briles. Hello, Nellie.
Hi, Guy.
Pirates leading 4-1. It was a Parker 3-run homer that got the Bucks on top after Montreal had scored in the top of the first, and the Pirates got a run on the last of the third. So it's 4-1. So put that 9-5 up on the shelf and put your feet up and get ready for Pirate action as we go to the 5th inning. It's really a pleasure to have you with us tonight, and it's a pleasure for Bert Blyleven to see some runs up on the board early.
He even wore his own jersey before the game tonight. Didn't dress up as anyone. He said, well, maybe tonight they'll give me the runs.
He's a shadow of his former self. Shot to left center field. It is well hit, and it is gone. Warren Cromartie jumping on the first pitch of the 5th inning. Well, it's now a 4-2 ball game. Only 2 left-handers in the Montreal attack.
Cromartie showing that deceptive power that he has and hits the ball an awfully long way to the left center field part of this stadium. You had to hit it awfully hard tonight to get it out to the opposite field, and boy, he did just that. Gave that ball a heck of a ride.
So the score now is 4-2 Pirates over the Expos.
Where's
I told you
Dave?
if I came over here, I'd have some fireworks.
That's
It's the
right.
wrong team that got him going here. Here's Billy Allman. For Cromartie, it was his 4th home run of the year.
Well, Dave gave up 1 run, so you're allowed 1.
Okay,
But that's it.
That's it. Pop to second baseman Phil Garner. And 1 away. Allman retired 1 down, and Steve Rogers is going to bat here in the 5th inning. Dick Williams has
Steve Rogers.
been warming up Freddie Norman in the bullpen. But here in the 5th, Rogers going to bat. Rogers walked his first time up. 4-2. Pirates lead. Montreal batting in the 5th inning. Out in front, 0-2. Bly 11 and 4 1/3 innings, 1 strikeout, giving up a couple of walks. And make it 2 strikeouts. Rogers retired 2 away. Go to the top of the Montreal batting order, and Ron LaFleur will be the batter. Let's watch this 1-2 pitch and watch Bird as he unloads.
Bird is into a good rhythm now. Keeps his eye on the target, and a good follow-through and curveball. And he knows when he's made a good pitch. He said, yes, sir, I got you. Take that, buddy. Gotcha.
Bert Blyleven in search of his first win of the year. And Bert and the Bucks are out in front 4-2, 5th inning. Ron LaFleur has reached base twice. Scored in the 1st after a walk and then doubled in the 3rd. And he's batting with nobody on, 2 down.
Right now is an excellent time for the Pirates to be taking movies of Bert Blyleven. His rhythm is very good right now. He's not rushing his motion. He's concentrating very well, keeping his eye on the target. This is a good time for him to be able to come back and study films of this particular time.
Swing and a miss, 2-2.
Good pacing between pitches.
You know, a number of the Pirate players have purchased those new video decks, so it's possible. I don't know if Bert has one or not. Ball 3. Blyleven came down off the hill, looked as if he thought he had the strikeout. 3-2 on LaFleur. Nobody on, 2 down. 4-2, Pirates lead. We're in the 5th. And LaFleur draws the walk for the 2nd time. It's the 3rd walk issued by Blyleven.
We'll have to edit that particular one out of the films that we were just taking of Bert. He must have heard me and just wanted to show me up, that's all.
And I do think he thought he had the strikeout the pitch before.
The 2-2 pitch.
Here's Tony Bernazard. Switch hitter. Go to first. Ron LaFleur has 6 stolen bases. The league leaders are Rudy Law of the Dodgers and Omar Moreno of the Pirates. They're tied the league lead of 9. Good look at Bernazard. LaFleur's running. Ott's throw to Foley is in time. Ron LaFleur has gone down. A good strong throw by Ed Ott.
Foley got a quick tag down. And the end of the 5th inning is the Pirates 4 and the Expos 2.
And now it's time for a tasty break with Tasty Cake.
He has men on base with less than 2 out. That's the way he pitches when he normally comes into a ball game. So he put himself in a jam just to show people he can get out of it.
Look off to the right side. Stargell, Garner, Foley as they position themselves. Waiting on the 1-2 pitch, and Jacoby strikes out Dawson. 2 outs in the inning, 2nd strikeout for Jacoby.
Big strikeout for Kent. Literally challenges Dawson right up in his power and gets the ball right on by him. Surprises him with his good speed on that high fastball.
Ellis Valentine steps in 1 for 3. Valentine scored the 4th Montreal run. Tied the game up in the 6th inning. And we're still tied here in the 7th. 2 on, 2 out. Kent Jacoby appeared in 94 games a year ago. He's pitching in his 7th game of the year. And this is the Pirates' 15th game of the season. Strike 1 on Valentine. Fouled back. This is the 4th hitter in the inning of 5. 4th of 5 hitters that Jacoby's been in front of 0-2. Jacoby rubbing up the baseball as he steps down off the dark side of the mound. LaFleur with a 1-out single swiped second. Bernazard drew the walk on 5 pitches. Jacoby looking to shut down the Expos in a 4-4 ball game, 7th inning. The count is no balls and 2 strikes on Ellis Valentine.
That was close. How can a hitter take that pitch? That ball was right on the borderline. Valentine took it like the ball was way outside and low. No chance of being a strike.
And said like a true pitcher, Nelly.
Thank you.
Struck him out. Struck out the side. Rogers, Dawson, Valentine go down on strikes. Expos in the 7th, no runs, 1 hit, 2 left on. 6.5 innings of play. We're still tied at 4-4. And this is it. You can root the Bucks home during this half of the 7th inning. It's our Giant Eagle home run sweepstakes inning, and our contestant in the 7th is Bell Schroeder of Pittsburgh. And for Bell, we've got $1,400 on the line in our jackpot inning. Tim Foley, Dave Parker, and Willie Stargell, the batters, in addition to our jackpot. Certificate for 10 Tasty Cake family packs and daily juice products redeemable at your grocer. Foley's been on base 3 times. Ball's behind Rogers 0-2. Foley reached on an error in the 1st, scored a run. Infield single, swiped to base, scored a run in the 3rd, walked in the 5th. It's a 4-4 ball game.
Rogers showing why he's rated as one of the top pitchers in baseball. Gave up 3 runs early in the 1st inning on a 3-run homer by Dave Parker, but has only given up 1 run since that 1st, and that is why he's still in a ball game. One ball and 2 strikes on Tim Foley. And Foley down on strikes. That is strikeout number 4 for Steve Rogers. 4-4 ball game, last half of the 7th. This is the opening game of a long homestand. Pirates are home right through May the 7th. Play these Expos again tomorrow night and then Thursday afternoon. This is kind of typical of all the games that we had with these guys last year. We fought them tooth and nail all the way, but last year we came out on top, and I'm sure we're going to have to do the same thing this year if we're going to beat these guys.
Dave Parker batting for Bell Schroeder in our jackpot inning. Pirates won 5 of the last 6 games from the Expos in '79. Those big games coming down the stretch, and I don't think they were any bigger than the 2 in Montreal in September last year.
Those were as exciting as any games you could ever hope to see.
The big one, that one that went till 2 o'clock in the morning that Willie Stargell won with an 11th inning home run. Nobody on, 1 down. No balls, 2 strikes on Parker. Batting in our jackpot inning and $1,400 on the line. Also on the line, the difference in this ball game. A long ball would put the Bucks back out on top. One-two pitch. And down low.
The Defensively here in the latter part of the ball game, both clubs now on the infield will be guarding each baseline so that a double doesn't get between the foul line and the infielders. Give them the single, don't give them the extra base hit.
Bounced outside of first. Two balls, two strikes. Though that ground ball did not find its way into the box seats off the bat, it went back into the crowd. Souvenir for a Pirate fan. Parker batting here in the 7th in our jackpot inning. Popped into right. Bernazard out. And Montreal second baseman has it. A good pitch by Rogers. Got that ball in on Parker.
That was the pitch that he did not make earlier in the game tonight on a couple of our hitters, primarily Parker in the first inning. But now that he has his rhythm, he's settled down on the mound. He's making the pitches that got him into trouble earlier, and that's why he has shut us down the rest of the way.
Willie Stargell batting in our jackpot inning for Bell Choder. $1,400 on the line. Stargell is 0 for 3. Been a strikeout victim twice. The two times that Willie has gone down on strikes, they were uncalled third strikes. Willie batting with nobody on, 2 down. 7th inning, tied at 4-4.
Use a little 2-out magic from that big wand of Willie Stargell.
A little of that gold and black magic. Line down the right field line. It is a fair ball. But Valentine plays the ball off the wall and holds Stargell to a single.
That line drive was not like the line drive that he hit in the 5th inning. This one was kissed and just did not have time to get up and out of the ballpark. He hit that ball on a line right off the 335 sign down the right field wall. There was magic in that bat, just not quite high enough to get it out of the ballpark.
Moving into a tie with Tommy Leach. And Bill Robinson will be the batter. Bill's first plate appearance in the game. He came on in the 6th inning defensively, replacing Mike Easler. One on, 2 outs, bottom of the 7th inning. Tied up at 4-4 at Three River Stadium. Trying to get back out in front of Steve Rogers and the Expos. Stan Botson warming up in the Montreal bullpen. And Bill Robinson batting with Stargell aboard. 2 outs in the 7th in our jackpot inning. Robinson batting for Bell Choder. Fouled off. It's 0-2. Bounced into the Montreal dugout. Count remains no balls, 2 strikes. Bill Robinson batting in the number 5 spot. Last time Bill Robinson started a game was in Montreal, the Wednesday game of that series. He started at first base. Started to open up, but kept the bat back, and it's 1-2. Action in the bottom of the 7th inning. 1-2 pitch. Caught by Almond. Just hung up long enough for the shortstop of the Expos to make the play. No home run during this Giant Eagle sweepstakes inning. But for our contestant, Bell Choder, certificates for 10 Tasty Cake family packs and Daly's juice products redeemable at your grocer. And our next Giant Eagle sweepstakes inning will be worth $1,500. Pirates in the 7th, no runs a hit. Fine play by Almond in left. And after 7, it's still Pirates 4 and the Expos 4. Kenta Colby struck out the side in the 7th. Now working against Parrish and the Expos in the 8th. Just outside the first base bag, strike 2. I want to take a moment to wish a happy 89th birthday to Edna Bushman on this 29th day of April, and also want to take a moment to send out get well wishes to Kimberly McKenzie. She's in North Hills Passavant Hospital. Send our best to Kimberly. Parrish batting 2 strikes. Fouled off.
Those same best wishes go to a friend of all the Pirates and the Pirate family for many years, Mike Ferrani, who's in the Jeanette Hospital recovering. We hope he gets well soon. And you know, Mike was a guy who used to bring 6-pound loaves of bread to the ballpark and a lot of bologna and feed the players after the ball game. I've never seen a loaf of bread that big in my life. 6 pounds, 1 loaf.
All right, Mike, you're on the disabled list. Let's get well soon. Down low, 1 and 2. Tekulve facing the Expos here in the 8th. Blyleven started, Romo in the 6th, then Tekulve came on in the 7th and is working the 8th. 1-2 pitch. Stargell over near the paying customers, but it's back out of play. Willie got the ball. Willie got a ball from one of the fans and look, I caught it. Fred Brocklander said, no, I saw that, Will.
Nothing ventured, nothing gained. Give it a shot.
It's a different twist of the hidden ball trick.
Ladies and gentlemen, we ask you once again.
1 ball and 2 strikes on Larry Parrish. Pirates and Expos tied 4-4. Expos got a single run in the 1st inning, 1 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th. Pirates got a Parker 3-run homer in the 1st and a run in the 3rd. Diving stop by Foley. Throws him out. Well, we've seen some outstanding defensive plays in this game on both sides.
Boy, and you want to know why the Pirates are off to such a fast start? Plays like this are one of the reasons why that the Pirates are in first place in this division in April, a position that they have not been in before. Foley dives, makes an outstanding play, gets up quickly, and makes a fine, strong throw to get that first out of the inning here in the 8th.
1 away in the 8th inning. Game tied 4-4. Don't forget this coming Saturday, May 3rd, when the Bucks take on the Atlanta Braves. Date of the Pirates' first fireworks night of the season. Through the courtesy of Lay's and Ruffles Potato Chips, all fans attending the game will be treated to a spectacular fireworks display immediately following the game this Saturday. We invite you to call the Pirates at 323-5000 to charge your tickets by phone. That's fireworks night this coming Saturday, May 3rd, against the Atlanta Braves. Hope you'll be with us over the weekend against Atlanta. Carter batting, 1 out, nobody on. 8th inning in a 4-4 affair.
Saturday, good day to bring your kids. That's quite a display, those fireworks.
They really are impressive, and the game is going to start Saturday at 7:05. So that's a half hour earlier than the starting times of a year ago. We started last year's games 7:35. This year, Saturday's games at night start at 7:05. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Carter. This is the opener of a homestand that will continue right through May the 7th. Tied at 4-4. We're in the 8th inning. Carter's single in the 6th inning drove in Valentine and tied the game up. Struck him out. Got him to chase a bad pitch, and Carter becomes Tekulve's 4th strikeout victim.
Good ball. It was on the outside part of the plate, and Carter went out there just
Wait a
fishing.
minute. Hold
He
it.
says,
Hold it.
Holy cow.
You think that was a strike?
No, the ball was outside off the plate.
I thought you
but-
said outside corner.
No, it's outside off the plate, and Carter just went fishing for it. Little breaking ball out there, and He just knew that he had it. Threw the line out there, but nothing on the end. Thank you very much.
Gotcha. Goodbye. Warren Cromartie homered in the 5th inning. Shucks, I thought we were in for our first big argument of the year. I said, how can he call that pitch a strike?
Well, I'm for the pitchers, you know. I take all I can get.
Two balls and a strike to Culvey. 1 2/3 innings, has 4 strikeouts. Nobody on, 2 down in a 4-4 ball game. Foley on to Stargell, and Willie with the footwork completes the play. Well, the Expos go quietly in the 8th inning. A couple of ground balls and a strikeout after 7.5 innings of play. The Pirates and the Expos tied 4-4. We'll be right back. 8th inning, and another Giant Eagle sweepstakes inning for you. Our contestant, Sharon Holcraft of Munhall. On the line here in the 8th inning is a $1,500 jackpot worth of Giant Eagle groceries, plus certificates for 10 Tasty Cake family packs and daily juice products redeemable at your grocer. Bouncer to third. Parrish sitting on the line. Throws Madlock out. Steve Rogers gets the first out of the 8th inning very quickly. Tied at 4-4 last half of the 8th. Now batting for Sharon Holcraft is Ed Ott. Ott batting .289 on the year as he steps in here in the 8th inning. 2 pitches, and Rogers has gotten 2 outs. Bernazard camping under the high pop of Ed Ott, 2 away. Jackpot inning. Sharon Holcraft is our contestant. Phil Garner, the batter. Phil is 1 for 3 in the ball game, and Lee Lacey has moved out on deck. Nobody on, 2 down. Last half of the 8th. All tied up at 4-4.
Eddie Solomon, Grant Jackson throwing in our bullpen.
So Lacey would bat for Tekulve if Garner keeps the inning alive. One and one. Rogers gave up 3 runs in the first, gave up a run in the third, but has held the Pirates scoreless ever since. Expos came back from a 4-1 deficit. Steve Rogers ready with a 2-1 pitch. Bounced up the third base side in foul territory.
In case Rogers gets in trouble, they have Elia Sosa and Woody Fryman throwing in a bullpen.
Rogers in 7 2/3 innings. 4 strikeouts. He's given up 1 walk. Touched for 4 runs on 9 hits. Big 3-run homer by Dave Parker back in the first inning. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Watch out. Full count.
That'll trim that mustache a little bit.
But now after that pitch, Rogers must come in with a payoff pitch to Garner. Tied at 4-4 last half of the 8th inning. Jackpot inning, and he walks him. And now the walk to Garner will force the hand of Chuck Tanner, and Chuck will call on Lee Lacey as the pinch hitter for Kent Tekulve. Kent Tekulve pitched the 7th and 8th innings, 2 scoreless innings of relief for Tekulve. Had 4 strikeouts in the 2 innings he pitched. Lee Lacy. With Garner at first and 2 outs in a 4-4 ball game. Lacy on the year is 8 for 12 and has 4 runs batted in. And Lacy batting in our jackpot inning. When we go to the ninth, we'll get a new pitcher. It'll either be right-hander Eddie Solomon or left-hander Grant Jackson. The Expos have Bill Allman, Steve Rogers, and Ron LaFleur, 3 right-handed batters due up in the ninth. Pirates are 9-5. Expos are 6-8. And they're tied at 4-4 here in the last half of the 8th inning. Bernazard throws to Cromartie, and Lacy's out. So no home run during our Giant Eagle jackpot inning, but for our contestant, Sharon Holcroft, certificates for 10 Tasty Cake family packs and daily juice products redeemable at your grocer. And our next Giant Eagle sweepstakes inning will be worth $1,600. So the Bernazard play, Pardo is left to throw out Lacy. Closes down the Pirates in the 8th. We go to the 9th now, and we're still tied at 4-4.
That's right. That's Wednesday and Thursday. And take note of that afternoon start.
New pitcher for the Pirates is Buddy Solomon. Solomon making his 3rd appearance of the year. No wins, no losses. And Bill Allman leads it off. Game tied 4-4. Steve Rogers is on deck. Tied at 4-4. Swing and a miss.
That's a good hard slider for which Eddie Solomon is well noted. It's his best pitch, although he still throws a pretty good fastball, and he gets a little miffed when people say he's a one-pitch pitcher. He still feels he can get somebody out with his fastball.
Solomon last worked 12 days ago. He worked against the Cardinals on the 17th of April. And both of Eddie's appearances this year have been against the Cardinals. Coming on here in the 9th inning. Fly ball to Parker in right. And Dave has it one away. Pitcher Steve Rogers will step in here in the 9th inning to face Eddie Solomon. Lyleven started. Gave up 4 runs in 5 2/3 innings. Romo worked a 1/3 of an inning in the 6th. Tekulve pitched 2 scoreless innings of relief, and now Solomon coming on here in the 9th. Tied at 4-4.
You know, and how has Rogers done it tonight? He's only given up 2 hits in any one inning, never more than 2 hits, so it's hard for us to get something going when he's consistently keeping us our hits shut down.
Pirates in the bottom of the 9th inning will have the top of the batting order up. Foul down the first base side. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And Solomon strikes out Rogers. First strikeout for Buddy J. And the top of the batting order, Ron LaFleur.
Left fielder on the floor.
LaFleur's been to the plate 4 times, and he's reached base 4 times. Has walked twice and has 2 hits, a double and a single. Tied at 4-4, top of the 9th inning. Nobody on, 2 down. Solomon coming from Atlanta in spring training. When we just finished that deal a couple of days ago, sending Greg Field to the Atlanta Braves organization. Greg Field is the young pitcher the Pirates acquired last year in the Tim Foley deal. Field came over with Foley from New York for Frank Tavares. So the Solomon trade has been completed by Executive Vice President Harding Peterson. Like a pretty good pitch, 3-0.
LaFleur moving in his stance in the batter's box. Last time against DeColvey used an extreme open stance. This time against Solomon, now he's pretty much straight away in the batter's box.
A good point, Nelly. Very good. 3-0 pitch.
I think LaFleur did that against DeColvey. Really opened up so that he wouldn't be pulling away. Just wanted to try and hit the ball to right, which he successfully did.
Swing and a miss. Full count. It's 3-2.
Solomon displaying a lot of confidence in that breaking ball. Behind LaFleur, 3-1. Went ahead and threw it on that pitch.
Nobody on, 2 down. Tied at 4-4. Solomon's payoff pitch. Fouled off. The point you made about LaFleur and opening up one time and back straight away the next, is that something that you'd say most major league pitchers can spot and will notice?
Well, you should. Anytime that a hitter does something different at the plate, you want to notice it. And the same way with a catcher. A catcher can help notice those things. If a pitcher doesn't pick it up, then you try and do things accordingly.
LaFleur is on base for the 5th time. Draws his 3rd walk. And LaFleur has tried to steal twice in this game. He was caught stealing in the 5th. He was successful picking up the stolen base in the 7th. Tied at 4-4.
And of course, the danger here with the speed of LaFleur and a left-handed hitter hitting behind him, if he should happen to pull the ball down the line, LaFleur has the speed to score from first on a long single.
Bernazard, the batter, he's 2 for 3. Ball and no strikes. Does Solomon unload to the plate in enough time to give Otter a chance to throw out a runner?
Is what he does is, Solomon doesn't make much of a leg kick going toward home plate. He just picks his front foot up and goes toward home plate. Notice it now. He will take his stretch, check the runner, and then not lift that front leg very much when he goes toward home plate.
1-0 pitch. Runner not going. And it's 2-0.
LaFleur testing his break that time, trying to get his jump. Wasn't completely sure of the Solomon move and his timing toward home plate. And Eddie Solomon is going to have to vary his cadence in going toward home plate if he's to stop a speedy run LaFleur.
At last pitch, Ott was not happy with the call by home plate umpire Nick Colosi. Runner at first and 2 down in a 4-4 ball game.
Good lead.
He's going. Ball 3. Stolen base for LaFleur. Foley and LaFleur scrambling to get up. The ball was lying on the carpet up by second base, and that is second stolen base of the game for LaFleur.
Ott tries to make a strong throw, but I thought LaFleur had too good a lead and a pretty good jump to try and for Ed Ott to get him. The ball with short hop Foley in front. And LaFleur was trying to get up. He saw where the ball was. Foley didn't, and Tim just kind of laid on him a little bit.
All right, it's 3-0 on Bernazard with first base open and 2 away. And in for a strike.
Threw a breaking ball 3-0 just in case they had Bernazard hitting. Right-handers coming up behind him.
Dawson, Valentine to follow. 4-4 ball game, top of the 9th inning. LaFleur at second base. He has been stranded in scoring position 3 times in this game. Or, excuse me, twice already. Now it is 3-2. Ott trying to move his outfield in. Fouled away. Top of the 9th inning. Tied at 4-4. The Expos have Ron LaFleur at second base. And 2 away.
Infield playing very, very deep. They want to knock any ground ball down, keep it from going through into the outfield, because with the speed of LaFleur at second base, he could score easily.
Lines to Foley to close out the Montreal ninth inning. No runs, no hits, a walk, and a runner stranded at second. We move now to the bottom of the ninth inning. The Pirates and the Expos still tied at 4-4. Steve Rogers facing the Bucks in the bottom of the ninth inning in a 4-4 ball game, and Omar Moreno top of the Pirate menu for the ninth. Rogers has gone all the way. He has one complete game previously this year. Moreno 1 for 4. Scored our opening run. Moreno batting .238 on the year. Fouls it back. No balls and 2 strikes. Foley to follow, then Parker. Chuck Tanner with encouragement for Omar Moreno. Pirates got 4 runs in the first 3 innings off Rogers, but the Expos have come back from the 3-run deficit to tie the game up.
Same tandem throwing in the Montreal bullpen, Sosa and Fryman.
One and 2 on Moreno. 2 and 2. And it's a full count. Was out in front 0-2, and now has taken it to the limit.
That was a pitch Rogers wanted. He didn't want to go to 3-2 where he has to come into Omar. Wanted to make the breaking ball pitch 2-2 and missed. His arm is getting a little bit tired, and he has to be careful with that breaking ball. You're more prone to make mistakes with that breaking ball when you're tired than you are the fastball.
Payoff pitch. Struck him out. Strikeout number 5 for Steve Rogers. Here's that 3-2 pitch again.
Good movement on that fastball. Sailed way to the outside part of the plate, and it fooled Omar. Omar started out to try and get the ball, but it slid toward the outside part of the plate, and Omar came up empty. You could tell by the reaction of Steve Rogers. He wants this game. He's psyched up, and he's going at our Buccos one-on-one.
Jim Foley, 1 for 3 in the ball game. It's tied at 4-4. Allman at short to Cromartie, and 2 away. Ball game is in the 9th. Tied at 4-all. And the big guy who delivered with a 3-run homer in the first inning to put the Pirates in front 3-1 will step in here in the 9th. Parker is 2 for 4. Batting .359 on the year. 4 home runs, 14 runs batted in. Here's the pitch from Rogers. And strike 1.
I tell you, obviously, the thing that's going through Steve Rogers' mind is the last thing that he wants Dave Parker to do to him is hit a home run. But that pitch right there shows that he still has a lot of confidence in that fastball, and he challenged Dave Parker right there on the first pitch.
One ball, 1 strike. Stargell's on deck. Pirates and Expos at 4-all. 2-1. Gary Carter, Montreal catcher, drops the fingers. Foul back out of play. Here at Three Rivers Stadium for the start of this homestand. Been a very pleasant night here at the stadium. Temperatures in the 60s.
Dave
Ball
now
game
even
in the ninth. Excuse me,
Dave
Billy.
now even in the count. He's going to try and just get on for Willie if he can.
Parker homered off Rogers in the first inning. It was on a 2-2 pitch. And right now the count on Parker is 2-2. Nobody on, 2 down, bottom of the ninth inning. Pirates and Expos tied at 4-all. And fouls it past the Expo dugout. Shortstop Bill Allman is there and makes the play. Pirates are retired in order in the ninth, so this one is going to go into extra innings. And Dave Martin will be joining you as we go to the 10th. Rogers and the Expos, and our Pirates are tied at 4-4.
Nellie, then I'm up here. Buddy J. Sullivan. Kind of a surprise choice by manager Chuck Tanner to come on here in the ball game in the 9th inning. And now we go to the 10th inning. Solomon blanked the Expos in the 9th. And he faces Dawson to start the 10th. Dave Martin and Nellie Browse, Lanny Terry. In a whale of a ball game tonight. I've said that 3 or 4 times, and the ball game gets bigger and bigger as we go on. A real exciting, thrilling ball game. And here's the first pitch now to Dawson. Outside.
Boy, and Dave is so reminiscent of the way these clubs fought tooth and nail all last year. Looks like it's going to be that way this year. The race is going to be a fantastic race this year, I feel. With St. Louis going to be tough, especially if they get some bullpen help. Philadelphia is going to be right there. The Cubs will be heard from. And these guys, of course, are going to be in it all the way.
Swing and a miss by Dawson. Now it's 1-1. Buddy J. Solomon, 7-14 for the Atlanta Braves last year with a 4.21 earned run average. Pretty good strikeout walk ratio to innings pitched. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Outside, ball 2, strike 1. Pirates have used Blyleven, Romo, Tekulve, and Solomon. Were you surprised when Solomon came in, Nellie, rather than Jackson, who had been warming up?
Basically, you had a lot of right-handed hitters coming up, and you use a lot of right-handed pitchers. So it's best that you go with Solomon. If you get into trouble, you can still go to the left-handers in the bullpen.
So the count now is ball 2, strike 2 on Dawson. Hitless and 4 times up tonight. Robbed of a hit by Garner back in the 3rd, which saved 2 runs. And boy, how big those 2 runs saved are in this game. We would be going home now if Garner hadn't made that catch. Ball 3, 3-2. Which was high. Solomon, I don't believe, is totally agreeable with Mr. Colosi on that call. Restrained himself. There's the 3-2 pitch now to Dawson. A swing and a foul. Ball 3, strike 2. Nobody on or out. Top of the 10th inning in Pittsburgh. Second extra inning game of the year. Pirates won the first one from the Cubs. Here's the pitch. Foul ball behind the plate. First game of the season at home was extra innings. Pirates won it 5-4 on Robinson's home run in the 10th. Billy will have a chance to bat in the last of the 10th. And the windup, the 3-2 pitch. High and inside. Ball 4. So to start the 10th, Dawson draws a walk. An ominous way to start it for the Pirates.
Right fielder, Ellis.
Walk number 2 issued by Solomon. Brings up Valentine.
That's the 7th free pass tonight.
There's Ellis Valentine, a right-hand hitter. Been up 4 times, and he has 1 hit. First pitch. Then there, a strike called. Dawson stole 35 bases last year. Well, he's a threat at first base. Count is strike 1 on Valentine. There's a ball outside to make it 1-1. One and one. Ellis Valentine has good power. Pegged to first base. Now Solomon ready. Stretch, pitch, a swing, a fly ball to right field. Under the ball is Parker, and he's got it for the out throw to first base. Runner is back. Gets away from Stargell. He's going to streak for second, and he's safe at second base without a play. Parker's throw got away from Stargell. There'll be an error charged on it. Dawson went to second base.
Little surprised that Parker threw behind the runner here, and the ball just seemed to come up a little higher than Stargell expected, and Alert Dawson saw the ball get by Willie and pulls into second base, and we didn't have a play.
Error charged to Parker. Runner at second base. Nobody out. Correction. Error charged to Stargell. Stargell charged with the error. Swing, and here's a ground ball to Garner at second. He's up with it. Throws to Stargell. Out. And the runner Dawson goes on to third base. So Parrish is out second to first, and it brings up Carter.
And again, here comes Gary Carter in this 2-out situation with the runner in scoring position. He drove in the tying run way back in the 6th inning with that 2-out single off Bert Blyleven.
Carter has been up 4 times and has 1 hit. Solomon in a spot here. He's got a runner at third base, Dawson, with 2 out. Strike call. Breaking ball on the outside corner. Carter's up-to-date batting average is .233. Pirates have Grant Jackson warming up in the bullpen in left field. Outside, good stop by Ed Ott. Boy, oh boy, that's a fine stop. He blocked that ball. It was in the dirt and outside, and he shifted quickly, blocked that ball, kept it in front of him.
And this is such a hard pitch to block because it's a hard slider down and in the dirt. And as you can see, Ott just tried to get out there and shift and knock the ball down, which he was able to do. A nice play by a hustling Ed Ott.
If he doesn't do that, it could well cost you the game. Would have cost a run for sure. Count as a ball and a strike. Outside. Ball 2, strike 1 on Carter.
Some catchers would have just tried to backhand that ball and catch it instead of knocking it down, and chances are that that ball would have scooted by.
2-1 the count. Solomon all set again. Pitch. Outside. Fastball, but a little bit outside. Ball 3, strike 1. Otto Weidman will put 2 men on and bring up Cromartie. Game tied 4-4 on the top of the 10th inning. Stretch by Solomon, the pitch. Strike call with the outside corner. Ball 3, strike 2. Trying to keep the ball away from Carter. Doesn't want him to pull it. Pitching him outside mostly. Ball 3, strike 2. There's a big pitch. Here it is. Foul ball. Out of play. Still 3-2.
Good pitch by Solomon. Carter just able to foul the ball off a little bit. That was a pitcher's pitch. Carter fortunately fouled it off for him. Three and 2 is the count.
Here it is. Swinging a bouncer to Stargell. He's up with it. Flips to Solomon. Out. Pirates get out of the inning. Good play. Stargell to Solomon. No runs, no hits. One error. And a man left. At the middle of the 10th inning, Pirates 4, Expos 4. As we go to the last of the 10th inning, Rogers pitched 9 innings. He allowed 4 runs and 9 hits. He walked 2 and he struck out 5. That's really an excellent game. So now Sosa's on the mound. A fellow who was with the Pirates briefly, Eli Sosa, for the Expos. Last year with Montreal, he won 8 games and lost 7 with an ERA of 1.95. That's a good figure. Although you expect a low earned run average from a relief pitcher, their ERAs will be lower than starting pitchers. He not only won 8 games, but he also saved 18. So he figured in 26 Montreal victories and only 7 losses. Here's Willie Stargell to start the last of the 10th inning.
And last year he was their best reliever in the bullpen, and right down the stretch in September when they needed him most, he came up with an elbow injury and was unable to pitch for the last 3 weeks of the season, and that might have been one of the turning points for the Montreal Expos not winning the pennant last year.
Here's Stargell. Willie's been up 4 times and he has 1 hit. First pitch to him, a swing and a miss, strike 1. Big home run cut. Stargell singled in the 7th inning. Bill Robinson on deck, and then Madlock. They let up on that pitch and had Willie out in front of it. 2 strikes on Stargell. Good change of speed by Sosa. Eli Sosa, native of the Dominican Republic, now lives in Scottsdale, Arizona. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Stargell. Ground ball into right center field. Up for the ball is the center fielder Dawson. Throws it back in. Stargell is on at first base. A hard smash on the ground. It handcuffed Tony Bernazard going to his right. So Stargell is on, and here is a runner for Stargell. You can see the play now.
This ball came up on Bernazard and almost took his head off. The ball was hit so hard on that infield that the ball almost gets by a hustling Andre Dawson, who cut the ball off in right center field, and Stargell is on with his 2nd bullet single of the game.
Matt Alexander is running now. Pinch runner Matt Alexander, activated last week. Now making his first appearance of the season. He stole 13 bases and 14 tries for the Pirates last year. He was 11 for 11 before he was stopped on the bases. That was ruled a hit for Stargell. It was the 10th Pirates hit of the game. Here's Bill Robinson. Been up once without a hit. Now a battle between Sosa, Alexander, and Robinson. Here's the pitch. Ready to bunt it, and he bunts it foul behind the plate. Strike 1. Infield shift was on as Robinson, who's a good bunter, but also has power, bunted the ball foul. Robinson made a bunt in a clutch situation early in the season. There's the 0-1, a pitch out. Carter called for a pitch out. Alexander stayed put. Ball 1, strike 1. One and one here. Last of the 10th inning of a 4-4 tied-up game. Pirates with 10 hits, the Expos with 7. Watch Alexander getting a lead. Stretched by Sosa. And the pitch. Robinson bunts it foul. Ball 1, strike 2. Now with 2 strikes on him, he'll probably have to hit away. Although you never know. Used to be that you wouldn't think of bunting on the 3rd strike. Now once in a while they do it. Mike Squires, I believe, bunted on the 3rd strike the other night for the White Sox and on a suicide squeeze play and won the game. Beat the Yankees. Count is ball 1, strike 2. Here's the next one. He's going to bunt. Foul. He's out on strikes. Robinson bunted on the 3rd strike and fouled it off. So it goes in the books as a strikeout for Sosa, and it brings up Madlock. Nellie, did you think he was going to bunt?
No, I didn't. I didn't think that Bill Robinson would be bunting in that situation. Usually he's a pretty good contact hitter, and with the speed of Alexander at first, I kind of thought they'd be swinging away. This brings up a situation where Madlock, who's a good contact hitter, can put on the hit and run or give Alexander a shot to steal.
There's Madlock. Been up 4 times without a hit. Runner at first base. Throw to first. He's back. Matt the Scat. Now the stretch. Throw to first. He has to go back in right hand first. Now Matt calls time, talking to the first base coach, Alex Monchak, while he brushes off his uniform. Sosa, the pitcher. Cromartie, first baseman. Alexander getting the lead, the stretch. The pitch to Madlock, a bouncer. Fair down the left field line. Chased into the corner by LaFleur. Alexander getting the go sign. He scores. Pirates win 5-4. LaFleur had all kinds of trouble with that ball. And the Pirates win it without a play. A hot smash by Madlock threaded the needle a foot fair down the left field line. And LaFleur, who is not used to playing on artificial turf, might have had a play had he come up with the ball cleanly, but he had all kinds of trouble, and Madlock gets the winning hit of the ball game as Alexander races around the bases to score the winning run. The Pirates win it 5-4. 5 runs, 11 hits, and 1 error. The Expos 4-7-2, and we'll be back in a moment. In the line, you see it's just about a foot fair. Here's Alexander around the bases. LaFleur missed on that try to cut off the ball. Here's Alexander getting the go sign around third from Joe Lonette, the third base coach. Finally, LaFleur picks up the ball. He's got no chance at all. Alexander backs into home plate. There was no play at the plate. LaFleur came up with the ball finally as Alexander was not too far from the plate. LaFleur's only chance on that play, as you saw, was to backhand the ball and cut it off. But he did not make that play, and when he did not cut off that ball, the game was really over. So the Pirates win a thriller tonight, 5-4. Hope you enjoyed it. The final totals: the Pirates 5 runs, 11 hits, and 1 error. The Montreal Expos 4 runs, 7 hits, and 2 errors. It's got to give Buddy J. Solomon a lot of confidence tonight. He gets credit for the victory. His record now 1 win and no losses. Solomon pitched the last 2 innings, allowed no runs and no hits. He walked 2 and he struck out 1. The losing pitcher is Eli Sosa, and his record is now no wins and 1 loss. Steve Rogers went 9 innings. Rogers pitched well tonight, and Sosa came on in the 10th inning, gave up a hit to Stargell to start the 10th inning. Alexander ran for Stargell. Robinson struck out trying to bunt. He bunted foul on all 3 strikes. And then Madlock got the extra base hit and the winning run batted in down the left field line as Alexander raced around the bases to score. Ron LaFleur in left field last year played for the Detroit Tigers, and his entire career has been with the Detroit Tigers. In the American League, there are only 3 parks with artificial turfs. So LaFleur last year played about 20 games total on artificial turf. This year, by the time the season is over, he's going to play around 120 games on artificial turf. He's obviously not used to it at all yet. He misplayed a couple of other balls tonight, and that helped the Pirates' cause considerably. The Pirates got 3 runs in the first inning when Dave Parker slugged a 3-run homer. It followed a hit by Marino, and then Foley was safe on an error by the shortstop Spire. Then Parker homered his second home run in 2 consecutive times at bat against the pitching of Rogers. The Pirates scored another run in the 3rd inning, really manufactured by Foley, who led off with a hit, went to second on an infield out. And then when Rogers napped for a moment on the pitcher's mound, Foley broke for 3rd. Rogers finally woke up, threw to 3rd, but Foley was in there safely, and then he scored on a looping soft hit to left field by Easler. So that at that point made the score 4-1. The Expos having scored in the first inning, and then the Expos rallied with a run in the fifth inning and a home run by Warren Cromartie, and 2 more runs in the sixth inning to tie up the game. The first one was driven in on a ground out by Parrish, and the tying one was driven in on a single to center field, sharply hit by Gary Carter. That tied it at 4, and the ball game stayed that way, 4-4, until the last of the 10th inning, when Stargell's hit and Madlock's hit won the game for the Pittsburgh Pirates. So the Pirates' record now is 10 wins, 5 losses, and the Montreal Expos' record is 6 wins and 9 losses. The winning pitcher Solomon and the losing pitcher Sosa. Second game of the series will be played here tomorrow night starting at 7:35. And the pitchers tomorrow night will be Jim Bibby for the Pirates. And for the Montreal Expos, it'll be Bill Spaceman Lee, who used to be with the Boston Red Sox. Nellie Briles is going down onto the field. And Nellie will have an interview in just a moment. But right now, here's a word from Phil Garner on fireworks night.
Saturday night, May 3rd, will be the first of 3 great fireworks nights at Pirates games this season at Three Rivers Stadium. This is second baseman Phil Garner of the Pirates. This year, Lay's and Ruffles Potato Chips are sponsoring our fireworks nights, so they promise to be better than ever. Why not bring your whole family to our game with Atlanta on Saturday, May 3rd, and see baseball's best fireworks display?
We are family.
Well, the Pirates continue to play excellent baseball. The Pirates really are playing alert baseball as they have all year long. Chuck Tanner made that comment just the other day. He feels it in his bones the way the Pirates are playing this year. They're not making mental errors. They're getting good pitching, they're getting timely hitting, and they're getting good defensive play. We saw really 2 outstanding defensive plays tonight. The best one of the season, I thought, was the one by Phil Garner, not only of tonight's game, but of the entire season. Phil Garner made a sensational, brilliant sliding catch. It came in the third inning. At that time, at the point of the game in which Garner made his catch, Montreal had runners on second and third with 2 out. And with 2 out, those runners are running. And this looked like a sure pop fly hit by Andre Dawson in short right field. But Garner raced into short right, back to the infield, dove for the ball, went sliding on the artificial turf, caught the ball, hung onto it, obviously, and that prevented 2 runs from scoring for the Montreal Expos. And right now to one of the stars of the game, talking with Nellie Briles.
Well, Phil, tonight I have to feel that the key to this whole ball game, sure we scored some extra runs, but the ones that you saved with that diving catch in right field, I thought was a turning point of the game. How was that set up, and how were you able to make that kind of a play?
Well, that's one of those things, Nellie. You just run and you're just praying all the way, and you just hope you can make the play. There's no way that you can really plan a play like that. You just see the ball and you go after it, and you hope that you can get it. At that particular moment, though, the thing that was in my mind was, let's get Bert out of this jam. As you know, Bert's pitched well this year, and he's had some tough breaks. We haven't scored runs for him, and here we had a little lead for him today, and I wanted to come up with a big play and kind of help him out a little bit.
Was there any particular preparation, mental preparation that goes into that type of situation, knowing that there's 2 out, with that particular hitter up, that would enable you to cheat one way or the other, or to anticipate one way or the other?
Well, that just shows you how wrong you can be, Nellie. I was cheating up the middle. If you'll take a look at the films, I'm expecting Dawson to hit the ball up the middle, which he does a lot of times against us. He hits the ball on the ground up the middle. Most of the times he does hit the ball in the air to the right side. So I'm cheating up the middle on him, and that's just a classic example of being out of position.
Well, I saw Willie break for the ball down the right field line, and then you have a big guy coming out of right field, a lot of traffic in the area, and you're kind of taking your life in your hands when you get out in that area.
Well, in that situation, I just keep going until I hear Dave say something. And Dawson has good power, and Dave has to play him, shade him over to center just a little bit, and he has to play him deep because the guy can drive the ball to the alley. So that's my play. I've got to make it. If I can't make it, nobody can.
How about there in that last inning? The ball went by third base. In that situation with a speedy runner on first, is it the responsibility of a first or third baseman to be guarding that line to prevent the double down the line?
Well, it depends. It depends a lot of times. The book may say that you should play on the line and prevent the double in that situation, and particularly preventing the guy from score. I do that sometimes, and sometimes I don't. When I was playing third, I go on how a guy's swinging the bat. And Madlock hadn't been pulling the ball a lot lately, so I might have done the same thing Parrish was doing. That would play off the line a little bit in hopes of getting the double play ball and getting out of the inning. But as it was, Madlock hit the ball good enough to get it down the line, and we scored the run.
How to batting eighth in the lineup? I know you've been able to do very well in the field, and batting eighth sometimes is a difficult position to bat in because you're always in front of the pitcher and you don't get as good a pitches to hit sometimes. A pretty good position to try and hit in, huh?
Oh, absolutely not with Steve Rogers throwing. He threw about 15 pitches on the black to me tonight, and I was fighting him off and getting jammed and breaking bats and everything else. But in this lineup, what are you going to say? You know, you're happy to be in the lineup with these guys. We've got some big humpers, and I take a lot of pride. I just wanted to, you know, do my job in the lineup. And if I can get on in the 8th spot and steal a base once in a while and let a pitcher bump me over to third and we can score with a fly ball, that's good enough. That's as good as hitting fourth and driving in a bunch of runs in any one night.
Well, I think your example tonight in the field showing that what it takes to be a winner, diving for balls and making the big plays when you have to is what really epitomizes what it takes to be a winner. And we're very proud of you. Brought a big one home, and we're going to throw it right back up to Dave to wrap this game up. Another winner for the Pirates.
Well, that winds up Pirate baseball for tonight. Be with us again on Tuesday, May 6th at 7:30 p.m. from Three River Stadium when the Bucks meet the Los Angeles Dodgers. Pirate baseball has been brought to you in part by Nichols Bakery. Don't forget to collect 8 Nichols bread wrappers for a free Pirate game ticket. And in part by Fabergé Brut. Make every day your Brut Day with Brut by Fabergé. Coverage of tonight's game was produced by Doug Kennedy and directed by Brian Sipe. Production and technical facilities provided by TPC Communications Incorporated. Coordinating producer George Christensen. This is Dave Martin for Lanny Pateri and Nellie Briles saying so long from Three River Stadium in Pittsburgh, where the final score was Pittsburgh Pirates 5 and the Montreal Expos 4. This is the Pittsburgh Pirates Television Network.
Get up, everybody.
Coming up next in Eyewitness News, an investigation has been launched into rumors that last Thursday's daily lottery drawing was fixed. The crisis in Iran and the aborted rescue attempt take center stage as the president goes before the nation.
PennDOT gets set to tackle Pittsburgh's runaway problem with runaway trucks. And the Pirates meet the Expos in a close battle at Three Rivers Stadium. Good evening, I'm Patty Burns.
And I'm Ray Tannehill. This and more coming up in Eyewitness News Update, which follows.
Royal blue batting helmet, and to honor America.